Hello everyone and welcome to the Xerathx YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to be damage testing and showcasing off my C6 Clorinde. Now, I understand I'm the only person in the world that has a C6 Clorinde. Varessa just came out. No one wants Clorinde. But we're going to be damage showcasing mine because I want to, and I want to flex. So, yeah. Okay, so this is pretty much my standard Clorinde team besides Auroron. Auroron's only there because I want him to gain XP, and if I ever kill a boss and I'm not thinking about it and I'm a little bit too quick with it, he can gain the XP for it. Because, especially when they're lower level, they gain a lot of XP, so I didn't put a single book into him, and he's level 5, so he's just there for fun. My normal Clorinde team includes Fischl. And I will be showing everyone's builds here shortly, but my normal
threads
team...
of your fate lie in my hands.
I'm so sorry. My normal team includes Fischl, and this team can clear everything. This team has cleared Spiral Abyss, this team has cleared a lot of the hardest content, and a lot of you might be asking, why do I have Dehya in here? Every, like, meta or good Clorinde team always includes Thoma or Xiangling. I have Dehya here because I like her. She's C2, I really like her, it did more the level of that, but I like her. She is underwhelming in the damage department, but especially if your Clorinde is not C2, or you don't have a shield on your team like in this Overload team, Dehya's really good because her E actually offers resistance to interruption. Now, I don't know if that's enough to help Clorinde not get staggered from her attack chain. Really bold. I don't know if this interruption to resistance is enough to help Clorinde, because my Clorinde has always been C6. But yeah, you can see here, I'm going to go through everyone's builds. My Clorinde is double crowned, her normal is not because she doesn't ever do normal attacks. But I guess if I'm really simping, I should probably remove that, but as you can see, I am so broke. On Mocha. I have actually none. So there's my Clorinde's talents. My Dehya is 288. My Fischl is 287. Definitely could raise those a bit more. And my Chevreuse's talents don't really matter because she never needs to heal on this team because of Clorinde's C6 talent, which I will get to shortly. My Dehya is Rock and Wolf's Gravestone because I literally do not have a single other alternative. I did not pull for her weapon 18 years ago, and I'm running her on Voracash's Glow. My pieces of her aren't very good. They're literally just whatever. I literally just wanted to get a 4-piece set of this so that I would have it, because I didn't farm for this set at all. I think I might have put like 5 condensed into it, and then I strongbox pieces until I had something. So she's on ER here, which she definitely doesn't need in a Overload team because of Electro Resonance. But she's on ER here, she's on attack, and she's on crit rate. So the only good thing here is probably this crit rate. This could be better. She has no attack scaling and energy recharge just for fun. Her overall stats are 32,000 HP, 2,000 attack, 62 to 114. It's really bad. She does no damage. She is C2, so it does a little bit more damage, but nothing huge. Next up is Fischl.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT!
15k HP, 2000 attack, pretty good there. 61 over 182, 127 ER, which again might be a little low to some people, but on this team with Electro Resonance, you don't actually need a lot of energy recharge on your characters, and I will show you that in example. But she's rocking Thundering Pulse, which is Yoimiya's bow, because it is just a stat stick. You rarely get all stacks of the passive here because you're not really auto-attacking with Fischl. And she's of course on Golden Troop, and she's C6. We already went over her talents. Her artifacts are like okay. I'm only now starting to really farm the Golden Troop set. As you can see, there's a lot of pieces here in general, but none of them are like really that good. But That's my Fischl. Chevreuse, I just have her built on HP. I want to get to a point where she's kind of hybrid. Maybe putting a Staff of Homa on there. But 127 ER, 24 over 68, and she just has a black tassel. Again, she's just built for HP. I did manage to get a Song of Days Past set on her. Again, I put maybe 5 condensed into this domain, so these pieces are... This has a lot of HP, but these pieces are not it. There's just a lot of HP. This is a really good... Okay. She is C6 because she was on the second Clorinde and Arlecchino shared banner, and so I wished a lot to get my C6 Clorinde, so I got a C6 Chevreuse. And again, her talents don't really matter. This skill affects the healing and the damage, but again, maybe when I get to raising up my Chevreuse more and making her more of a damage, those will matter more. But she is probably one of the few characters here on any of my main teams actually that aren't the final star. I just have no desire to. She's already reached her HP cap of 40k with this weapon, so maybe one day, maybe when I have the Mora, maybe when I'm not poor, but you know, that's it. And then finally, the bread and butter, my Clorinde. She's rocking 19k HP, 2k attack. Now before you look at this...
Brother,
The crit rate looked a little small, but Clorinde gets a lot of crit rate in her kit itself, and her C6 also helps with that. So she's 48 to 252, 122 energy recharge, 46 electro damage. She's of course rocking her signature weapon, the Absolution. She has a 4-piece Harmonic Whimsy, which it's funny because my Clorinde is C6, but I was starting to set remaining for Arlecchino. And I went to Arlecchino over Clorinde. More on that later. And so my Clorinde just has the scrap pieces. As you can see, my pieces on my Arlecchino are more often than not a lot better. This one I have to cross because I literally couldn't stand looking at whatever else I had. I think it's just some off-piece. But this is really good for her. I did have an on-piece for this. I did have an on-piece electro damage bonus, but as you can see, it rolled entirely into energy recharge, so I went off-piece for this. And then I had a on-set crit damage bonus, which definitely could be a lot better. There's a lot of HP rolls in there. Constellation 6, which I will be going over those in a second, and 6, 13, 13. The reason why I said not to worry too much about her crit rate is she actually gets 30% bonus crit rate in combat. So in combat, this is more like 78 crit rate, which again could be higher for sure, but it does get the job done. And the crit damage is a lot more in combat too. That is due to her passive here, her second passive? There's like numbers, but it's like A4, whatever, I don't know. Her second passive, if she has a bond of life, she will increase her crit rate, and it has 2 stacks. So this gives her a 20%, and then her C6 gives her another 10%. That being said, her constellations are like, they're okay. Most people stop at C2 if they're like an actual Clorinde fan, because it's the one that gives her interruption resistance. Her C1 gives her these nightshades that attack alongside of her, and they will do a little bit of extra electro damage. Her C2 just gives her a bunch more of a damage boost whenever electro reactions occur, and the bottom part there is really the bread and butter of this, is because when you have the max stacks, which you get just by auto-attacking, her interruption resistance will be better, so that is probably the main part. Her C3 is talent levels for her E, which is the most important part of her kit. Her C4 makes her burst stronger, based off of how much of a bond of life she has. Now, she gives herself a pretty big bond of life when she does her burst, so you will pretty much have like at least 70% of this passive always. I rarely think about this, honestly. C5 is her burst talents, and C6 gives her the 10% crit rate and 70% crit damage when she activates her E, and she gets more of her C1's little extra electro attacks, so she will summon more of these Glimbright shades, but in more circumstances. So when she does her E dash, and also when she's about to get attacked, and then also this bottom part, it literally makes her a tank. So she gets 80% damage reduction and even more interruption resistance. So that might make you wonder why the frick I have Dehya here, but it's just because I like her. But that is my Clorinde. This is the team I love running her on if I'm really trying to maximize damage. Maybe one day. I know that Thoma is a lot better, and I do have C6 Thoma, and I know that Xiangling is good, and I do have Xiangling kind of built, but this is the team I just run for now. I'm still trying to build other characters and focus on them. So that's the main reason. But with all that yapping done, we can actually get into the damage showcase. I'm going to showcase this on the Jadeplume Terrorshroom just because even though it might move a little bit, Clorinde can kind of match that. In essence, with Clorinde, you hit her E skill, you auto attack 3 times, and then you hit E again so that she dashes and it resets her Bond of Life. That's mainly how her kit works. Why was there just 190 electro damage down there? But with this team, I start with Dehya, and then I summon Oz to make a overloaded reaction. Chevreuse gets her overloaded ball that she shoots, and then I just go to town with Clorinde. You'll see, but there will be lots of pauses in here for damage, but just pay attention to this guy's health bar and how it gets deleted. Yeah, let's go. So we start with Dehya's E, we summon Oz, we do Fischl burst and E, you do not use burst, and then I start with Clorinde first, and then hit E, and then auto E, auto E, and he's already dead. It is just insane the damage that Clorinde provides here. She is absolutely stunning, but she just murders everything. Murder on the dance floor, because she just... I wish there was a more, like, tanky boss to showcase this on, but there isn't. So, we're gonna go to this guy, because I know this is...
Close. No going off on your own. The desert doesn't take prisoners.
Prisoner? Prisoner, locked up, can get you off. Anyways, we're gonna do the same rotation with this guy, but just to show you, I don't know if this guy has any more HP, but it's just a funky boss, and I like to easy. So, start with Dehya's E, we summon Oz, we do Fischl Chevreuse's E, and we go to town, auto E, auto E, auto E, auto E, and you can see this guy's already dead. Like, it is just insane the damage this team does, and Clorinde can do. Now, I know that's any C6 DPS would be able to output a big damage capacity, but I like Clorinde. I fell in love with her because of her story quest. I really like the way she was like a dungeon master and she's in D&D with everyone. I thought that was so serious, especially because she's like champion duelist and she's just the leader of a D&D party, like she's the DM of a D&D party. So I fell in love with her for that reason. Last little test, I'm actually gonna fight the Natlan weekly boss because that guy is really tanky, and I want you guys to notice the HP of this guy because he will not die in one rotation. So I'm gonna show you same exact team, same exact rotation. It'll just be a little different because you can see the damage more clearly, and also the guy won't get one shot. So let's go.
Come on, if there are make a wish, take your time and decide what's right. Can't you see the light? Time to stop dancing around a mirror in circle.
Super nifty. Super nifty. I really enjoy Clorinde. I like her playstyle because I too have crippling ADHD, and I love just dashing around the battlefield because you can, because why not? So yeah, would I recommend any of you to pull for Clorinde in the future? Probably not, because I think it was really shady that they released Clorinde's rerun with Arlecchino, and then the next patch after, Malwiko got released, and then like 2 patches later, they released Veressa. If you're looking for like strong meta unit, don't wish for Clorinde. She looks strong, she is very strong, but that's because I've invested a lot into her. But if you like the dash style, I fell in love with her because she was just like so flashy and so movie. She's been so fun. Definitely do her story quest if you haven't already. It was so beautiful. I loved it so much. That's really what made me fall in love with her. And her teams are super easy. This is a very typical Clorinde overloaded team using Chevreuse, which even if you have a C0 Chevreuse, absolutely this team still works. And everyone has Chevreuse, everyone has Fischl, and more often than not, if you've been playing the game and you lost a 50-50, you probably have a Dehya. But again, Dehya can very easily just be Xiangling. Dehya can very easily just be Thoma. If I can fight, yeah. Very easily just be Thoma. So this team is very easy to build. The other half of Clorinde mains, or people that use Clorinde, like to use her in a Hyperbloom team with Nahida and I think Kirara, because she provides the shield for the interruption resistance. This team is good. Not Hyperbloom. This is Aggravate. A lot of people like to run Aggravate. Aggravate Clorinde, because again, Clorinde just applies so much Electro and can keep up with Nahida's thing, in which case you would run a Elemental Mastery Sands. So if you see like 3.8% of people running Elemental Mastery, it's probably because they're doing Aggravate Clorinde, which is still good. But again, I just prefer Overloaded because it's a lot simpler. I don't have to think too much. I just hit elemental skills on other people, and then Clorinde just does big PP damage. So, but yeah, I just wanted to showcase my favorite character, get you guys thinking about some maybe non-conventional, non-traditional units that are still able to perform super, super well. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe down below. It helps so much. And check out my other content on my channel. Bye bye!